And make yourself comfortable. Just take a moment to get situated. Feel your sit bones rooting and your spine rising. And see if you can start to lengthen out your inhales and your exhales. Just really nice, deep, mindful breathing. Ujjayi breath. And see if you can allow this awareness of your breathing just to start to ground you and help you draw the mind down from all the thoughts that are spinning around up there into just sensation, curiosity about sensation, and all the things that are happening right here, right now. And I would love for you to bring one hand to your heart and just bow your head down and consider how you're feeling and what you think you might need to be cultivating for this practice. What would most help you right now? Is it more compassion for yourself or patience with your own internal process, or whatever springs to mind for you, and just to try to seal in that intention. And we'll start to add some movement. So come to hands and knees and set yourself up so your wrists are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. Just a few cat-cows here. Inhaling, arching up, and exhaling, rounding in. Really push the floor away. Inhaling into the back bend, and exhaling into the forward fold. And just getting a sense of what's happening in your body, trying to kind of take stock. And the next time you inhale forward, pause, and then find a neutral spine and flip your hands around so your fingers are pointing back towards your knees. And if you do a lot of emailing, writing, anything like that, you might really be surprised at how much information is kind of waiting in the forearms. If you're feeling like, wow, that's too intense for me, you can walk your hands back towards your knees, and that'll make it, a little less so. If you're feeling pretty comfortable, you might rock your hips back. Just make sure, don't let it be too intense this early. You're just trying to get a sense. And those of you who feel extremely open can walk your hands forward a little bit, but I don't want you to overdo. We're just trying to say hello to these places right now, the wrists, the forearms. And breathe. And then we're going to flip the hands around and tuck the toes and take it up and back to down dog. And give yourself a moment when you get there. You can pedal out your legs or take your feet wide if your back feels tight. And then on an inhale, press your hips back. At the bottom of the exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and you can step to the front of your mat. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in, let your head hang. Then inhaling, lengthen and rise. And exhaling, hands to prayer at your heart. Pause and breathe into Tadasana. Feel your feet rooting down. Sometimes I lift all 10 of my toes up just to really feel that rooting. And then lift the kneecaps and quads, draw the navel in, lift your heart, and lift through the crown of your head. And it is very possible to go through an entire day and not really just pause to check in and see how you're doing. And that's why I ask you just to kind of set an intention, seal that in, remind yourself, and we'll start to move. On an inhale, sweep the arms up. And when you exhale, hinge and fold forward. Inhaling, chest out, nice flat back. It's totally fine to bend your knees, to have your hands on blocks or on your shins. Exhaling, step it back to plank and lower slowly. Inhaling, coming into cobra or up dog, whatever feels better. Either way, working the legs. And exhaling up and back to down dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Try to make it all about the breath right now and just understanding your body, being in a conversation with your body and trying to really listen to how it's feeling and what it needs. Inhaling, press your hips back. Bottom of the exhale, walker float, feet to hands. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer at your heart. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, walker float, chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling to down dog. And breathe. Inhaling, press your hips back. Bottom of the exhale, walker float. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer. We're going to move into Series C. If you have sensitive knees, this is where you might want to put a blanket across the middle of your mat for a little extra padding. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, left foot back, left knee down. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Pause and breathe here. This is a big front body opener. And so just kind of see how this crescent shape is feeling in your body right now. Notice the front of the left hip, your hip flexor, and maybe your quadriceps on the left side. Also whatever's happening in the back and the neck and the shoulders, the jaw. Let's really be here. See how you feel. And take an inhale. And when you exhale, bring the hands down, step it into chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling, down dog, left foot forward, back knee down. Inhaling, reach the arms up. And then again, just pause and breathe and see how this feels. You could absolutely cactus the arms, release the arms, just see what your body needs and what you might want to change up just to increase the flow of breath. On an inhale, reach the arms up. When you exhale, bring the hands down, tuck the back toes, lean back, step forward. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer at your heart. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, chest out. When you exhale, step the right foot back. Release your right knee down. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling, down dog, right foot forward, back knee down. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, step to the front of your mat. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, chest out. When you exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling, down dog, left foot forward, back knee down. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, step to the front of your mat. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, right foot back, right knee down. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling, down dog, right foot forward, back knee down. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, step to the front of your mat. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer. One more, we'll change it up. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, folding in. Inhaling, chest out. When you exhale, left foot back, pause, and nice and easy, we're going to press the right leg straight or straight-ish. Now, you could grab your blocks and have blocks underneath your hands. You can bend the right knee any amount. All I'm trying to do right now is get more information from my right hamstring and the back of my left leg, including my calf, my Achilles tendon, all that good stuff. So you can do as I'm doing here and kind of rock your hips back and forth. You can bend your knee into a lunge and then straighten. Just whatever's going to help you and get that information. And then we're going to pivot in with the right foot and walk the torso to the left. Just let your head hang for a moment and see how the forward fold feels. So you do want to make sure your toes are squared off, and you can bend the knees any amount. Keep the breath flowing. Blocks under your hands once again. You can reach out and hold on to your ankles. Some of you might feel comfortable, want to walk your arms through. Just make sure your neck is released, face is soft, breath in a flow. Good. Inhaling, lengthen your spine forward, pivot to the right once again, bend the knee, step it back and lower. Inhaling into your back bend, exhaling down dog, left foot forward. Now we're going to do the same thing. Just pause and straighten the left leg and give yourself a minute here to glean some information from your left hamstring and the back of your right leg. And keep breathing, move in any way that feels good and that helps you understand more about what's happening in the left hamstring right now. And then we're going to pivot in with that left foot, walk the torso to the right, fold forward. Give yourself a moment. Remember, you can walk the arms through, or you can be holding onto your ankles. Nice. And then we're going to crawl back to the left foot, bend the left knee, lean back, step forward. Inhaling, chest out. Exhaling, fold in. Inhaling, lengthen and rise. Exhaling, hands to prayer at your heart. Inhaling, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, chest out. When you exhale, step the right foot back and then turn your torso to the left. So now I want you to square your feet off so they're facing the other way, right? And walk your feet as close enough together as you need to be on the soles of both feet. And just see if you've got the IT band giving you any information now, anywhere else you're feeling it. And you can stay right there. You can, of course, have a block underneath your right hand. The hand can be right at eye level if you look straight down. If you feel comfortable, you can take the left arm up. Nice little twist. Breathe. Then take an inhale, and when you exhale, bring that left hand down, rock the weight onto the sole of your left foot, point your right toe straight up toward the sky, and then have a seat. Bring your right knee to the outside of your left foot, and then take your left fingertips, tent them behind you. Right arm goes up as you inhale, and when you exhale, we're going to twist. You just nice and easy, kind of see how this feels in your body. You want to have your sit bones rooting. And imagine balancing a book on the crown of your head. And when you inhale, see if you can lengthen a little bit more. When you exhale, maybe you twist a little bit more deeply if it feels right. release. We're going to bring the hands down, and we're crawling back to that lunge that we were in on the left side. Step the left foot back and lower. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling, down dog. Right foot forward, pause. Press the right leg straight. And like we just did on the other side, we're going to go the opposite way. So turn your torso to the right. Walk your feet as close together as you need to get on the soles of both feet. And then you can kind of lengthen out your spine with your inhale and exhaling. Settle in and see how things are on this side. Maybe again, IT band on the left side. Other places you might be feeling it. And now we're going to rock the weight onto the right foot. Point your left toes to the sky. And then put your left knee down to the outside of your right foot. Tent your right fingertips. Inhaling, reach the left arm up. Exhaling, twist to whatever degree feels right. Breathe. Just kind of wringing yourself out to your own degree. Use the breath. Nice. One more inhale for length. Exhale for twist. And then untwist. Walk your hands forward. And this time we're going to tuck the back toes. Lean back. Step forward. You can step both feet forward. Separate your feet so they're hip distance apart or wider. And put a nice bend in your knees. Fold forward. And I just would love for you to sway here for a minute. Kind of like you're making a figure 8. With your hips on the ceiling. That rocking motion is really calming for the nervous system. Quiets the mind when you're in a forward fold. Just let anything that you need to roll off your back. You can let it roll on over to me if you want to, and I'll just let it roll out the door and down toward the ocean. Okay, let your head totally hang. And then we're going to come halfway up on the inhale and keep that flat back. Draw the navel in, press all the way up, reach the arms high. And when you exhale, bring the hands to prayer at the heart. And this time we're going to take your left foot up. So we're coming into tree pose, standing on the right leg. And your left heel can be on the inner right ankle. It can be on the calf muscle. You're welcome to reach down and bring that foot high up onto the inner right thigh. Just be sure that your foot is not on your inner knee. It's either below the knee or above the knee. Find a focal point. And if you're feeling steady, maybe you want to extend the branches of your tree toward the sky. Just imagine roots growing out of your foot. Keep the breath flowing. Soft face. Sometimes what you're strengthening is your sense of humor, right? Especially on those wobbly days. Just try not to take yourself too seriously. Have fun with it. Take the yoga seriously, but not yourself, right? Draw the navel in. See if you can just take that left knee forward. And then we're going to come into Warrior 3 and play with it. You can bend your standing leg, extend that left leg straight back behind you. So you can keep the hands in prayer. We're going to tap, the left foot down and then lift the left leg up. So if you want to, you can get your blocks and put them on the highest side, shoulders distance apart, and come up to your fingertips. So we're inhaling down, exhaling up 2, inhaling 3, 4, 5 more, 6, it's going to be great. 7, 8, feel that glute working. 9, and your right hamstring. 10, hold. Inhaling, little back bend. Exhaling, knee to nose. Inhaling, 2. Inhaling, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Extend, bend that left leg. Pulse, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pause here. Bring the palms flat to the blocks if you're using them, or you can be up on your fingertips, and then see if you can reach your right hand back. Hold on to your left foot. Wrap the right chest open and lift the left knee, and maybe turn and look to the right. Whoop. Beautiful. So you're probably feeling some kind of feeling in that right glute. If you're like me, you can just move your blocks over to the side if they're bothering you. And then toe heel your right foot to the right and see how you feel here. Both arms to the inside of your right leg. A little bit of heat building there. Hello. And then nice and easy, we're going to walk the hands back, still on the inside of the right leg. And in fact, you might even slide that right heel forward and walk your arms to the left. And breathe. And just see how your hamstring's feeling. And some of you might decide to slide the right heel forward even a little bit more. And sink your hips back a little bit more. So it's very much like down dog in the upper body and the arms. And then walk your hands back in toward that left knee. Point your left shin straight back behind you. Slide your right heel over. Y'all know how I love this. And stand up on your left knee, and we're holding on to the hips. I do want you to just check in. Right knee and ankle are in line, and that your left hip is right over your knee. Okay, and we're going to rock it out. Inhaling, exhaling to center. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. How great is that? Spin the right toes in, straighten the right leg. Just get a nice side stretch. Left arm up and over, and my right hand is really light on my outer leg. And I'm going to look up underneath my left tricep because it feels so good. And then come straight up, and we're going to pivot the right foot back over to the right and see how lizard pose feels now. So you can stay up high, you can grab a block and bring your forearms to the block, or you can bring them to the mat. If you're not working with knee issues, you can point your right toes to the right and roll to the pinky toe edge of your foot. And I don't have knee issues, so this all feels very comfortable for me. I've really open hips. It's not an area where I carry tension. So, just kind of check in. Like, nothing should hurt. If you're feeling comfortable, you can bring your right hand to your inner right thigh. You can also bend the back leg and draw the heel toward the outer hip, or flip the grip and wrap the right chest open. And then release and tuck the back toes and toe heel your right foot to center. And then inhaling, bend that back knee. And when you exhale, bring your left knee to the outer right foot. So we've been here, right? We're back. We're back for a reason. So take your right fingertips to the floor behind you, left arm up, inhaling, exhaling, we're twisting again. So you can stay right in the seated twist if that's feeling like the right spot. Some of you might want to stand up on the left shin, and you can use both arms. Just depends on how long you've been doing these poses, but you can bring your right elbow to the outer right hip. If you're new, please use both elbows, and your left elbow to the outer right knee, and we're going to lean over, and it's chaturanga arms, and maybe the feet are going to come off the floor. And if that happens for you, you can stay right there, especially if you're newer to it. Just knock my blocks over, or you can come into Ekapada Koundinyasana 1. Nice little twisty arm balance. And then come on down, and we're going to have some fun and counter twist. Bring your arms to the left, and we're just going all the way in a Martha Graham style circle to the back of the mat. And if you feel like fixing your blocks because you're type A like I am, go for it. Okay, and then let it all go. Let it all go. And we're back in this nice figure 8, forward fold, knees bent. Just hopefully, like, gosh, being a little kind to ourselves. Just breathing it out. All right. Inhaling, lengthen your heart forward. Press into your feet. Come all the way up. Exhaling, hands to prayer. All those fun things on the other side. So if you used your blocks last time for that warrior 3 tapping the foot and cat-cow situation, which I'm going to guess most people did, because when you get to the cat-cows, you're going to want them. You can set them up now. Okay. Coming into tree pose on the left side. So we're going to take the right heel toward the inner left ankle, or you might come to the calf muscle. And I've already found my focal point, right? You want to do that before you start moving into the pose. And that's for any balance pose, focal point first. And so you can bring your foot high up onto the inner left thigh. And there's a seal that's happening. I'm pressing my right foot into my inner left thigh, and then I'm pressing my outer left hip back toward my right foot. And I'm lifting the pelvic floor, and I'm drawing the navel in. And at the same time, with all of this energy going up and out the crown of my head, I have an equal amount of energy rooting down through the left leg, like it's the trunk of my tree. And I'm just envisioning just roots growing down, down, down. So you might play with all of that. Whoop. And keep breathing. I have a wobbly tree on this side, and I am kind of laughing about it, and that's good. You don't know what a big deal that is. For me, that took me years of work just to be able to chill out a little bit, give myself a break, not expect perfection every second of the day. Such a relief, folks. All right, draw the navel in. Take that right knee forward. Bring your hands down. We're just playing. We're seeing what happens. Maybe coming into warrior 3. I mean, it's fun, isn't it? No need to get all like worked up about it. So you could keep your hands in prayer and play with the leg kicks, or you could bring your fingertips to the blocks, which I'm going to do. And we'll just call this 1. Take an inhale, exhaling 1, inhaling 2, 3, 4, 5, nice long spine, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to basically cat-cow it, right? Inhaling, exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Extend, bend, pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness. Step that right foot back. Release the right knee down. You can move the blocks to the side. And we're just beginning here. We're just getting a little bit of information. This isn't going to be our full lizard pose. This is our sort of lizard pose prep. And I am moving my hips around and just trying to see how my left glute is feeling after all that, my right hamstring. Whoo. Okay, we're going to walk it back. So we're in this basically wide stance Ardha Hanuman, and you can straighten that left leg. You can keep the knee bent. If you're like, ooh, this is too much, you can grab blocks and put them under your hands. You can bend the left knee any amount. So we're not here to, blow anything out. We're just trying to get in there now that we built some heat, and breathe. And if you're feeling pretty open in the hamstrings, you might decide to slide that left heel forward, and then you're going to walk the arms forward. So it's like down dog. And we're in a different part of the hamstring. Okay, walk your hands back toward your right knee. Point your right shin straight back behind you, and we're going to toe heel that left foot in and bring ourselves up to standing on the right knee. So when I get there, I'm going to check that my hip is right over my right knee and that my left knee and ankle are in line. And then I'm holding onto my hips, and I'm going to inhale 1, inhaling 2, 3, hip mobility, right? 4, 5, it's important stuff. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to spin those left toes forward, straighten the left leg, and get a nice side stretch on this side. So my hand's super light here, and I'm looking up underneath my right tricep, and all those really great breathing muscles we have, just getting a nice stretch. And I can feel this into my QL, that muscle that's attaching the pelvis to the rib cage. It's an important muscle. Imagine what would happen without that muscle. It wouldn't be good, folks. And breathe. Just your rib cage would be totally like collapsed on your pelvis. It would just be horrible. And every time you try to go anywhere, you have to lift your rib cage up, and it would be crazy. All right, come on up. Don't mind me. And toe heel your left foot to the left. Point your right shin straight back. And now we're in like our full lizard. We're going to go for it and just kind of see what feels right. So you might stay up high. That's what going for it might look like. You can grab a block and put your forearms on the block, like so, right? Or maybe they're going to be on the mat. If you don't have knee issues, you can point your left toes to the left and roll to the pinky toe edge of your foot. And maybe you're moving around here as long as your knee is okay with that, your left knee. And some of you might want to take your left hand to your inner left thigh. And I'm really not pushing on my leg. I'm just resting my hand there. Please make sure it's on your upper inner thigh and not on your left knee. You don't want to be pushing on your knee. You can bend the back leg and reach back and draw the heel toward the outer right hip. You'll get a nice quadriceps stretch there, or you can flip the grip. Just keep breathing. And release. And we're going to come back up and toe heel the left foot to center. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee and lean back. Remember this? We're going to bring the right knee to the outer left foot and sit down and twist. So sole of my left foot is flat. Take the right arm up, inhaling, exhaling, make your twist. And you can stay here. Maybe you'll go into like a little bit of a deeper twist since this is second time around. If you want to, you can stand up on your right shin and bring your left elbow to the outer left hip and your right elbow to the outer left knee. And I am looking at my hands and making sure they're shoulders distance apart. And I'm making a shelf with my hands, chaturanga. And I'm going to lean over until, I can see if my feet will come off the floor. And if that happens, then I might extend my legs. And when you're done, you can come back to where we started. And this time we're going to twist the other way, counter twist. And we're making that sort of Martha Graham circle to the front of the mat. And then let your head hang and sway it out. Whew. Good, good. And then come on up to your toes and sit down on your heels as long as it's okay for your knees. And find a focal point. Bring your hands to prayer. Now, if you have knee stuff, I don't want you to do this next part. But those of you who don't, if you've got knee stuff, just bring your hands down and come onto your back. Okay. Otherwise, if you feel okay, take your arms forward and come onto your back in a controlled, but also hopefully very fun fashion. And here we are on our backs. And once you get there, you might want to have your blocks handy. We're going to do a little back bending. So take a minute to see how you're feeling. And breathe. And if you're feeling like, I'd love to do a restorative back bend, grab your block, lift your hips, slip the block underneath your sacrum, okay? And then push into the back of your head and lift the shoulder blades up. And then release and breathe. And you can stay right here. It's a nice supported bridge pose, gravity. It's going to send, some blood flow toward your rib cage, your heart, your thyroid gland, eventually your eyes, your brain. Good stuff. You could decide after a while that you want to take your legs up for supported shoulder stand. And if you've been practicing with me a really long time, you may remember the ancient art of toe writing, wherein with the toes of our right foot, we write one thing that we want to release. Could be anything at all. So, and nobody can read your toe writing, so you don't have to worry. Okay, and then with the toes of your left foot, something you would like to invite into your life, something you really want to cultivate. And again, nobody can read your toe writing, but I do think it's like sending out a little energy out into the world of what it is you'd like to be doing. So you could stay here, okay? Or some of you, if you have lotus pose in your practice, you could move in that direction and it becomes kind of like an inverted fish pose, very much like that. And you're breathing. And then there may be those of you who are like, I don't want restorative right now. I feel peppy. And if that's you, hey, don't let me stop you. You can come into an active bridge pose, right? That's fun. Or you could take really active legs and move yourself into upward facing bow. Fingertips to the outsides of the ears, fingertips under the shoulders, inhaling to the crown of your head and exhaling all the way up. And whenever you are ready, we're going to come back and do a little core strengthening. So when I say core strengthening, you've been doing core strengthening every time you exhale, and with balancing pose like tree pose is not, one where you're using a lot of core and your arm balances. So you're already doing core work as you're going, but targeted core work is really what I mean. So we're going to take the legs up and reach the arms up. And imagine there's a thick rope dangling from the ceiling. Draw the navel down, lift the head and the shoulder blades up, and we're climbing the rope. Good. Keep your legs up. Clasp your hands behind your head. Cross your right ankle in front of your left. Take an inhale with the tailbone down. When you exhale, draw the navel down, lift the tailbone up 2 inches and hold. Inhaling down, switch. Exhaling, navel down, tailbone up and hold. Inhaling down, switch. Exhaling, lift and hold. Inhaling down, switch. Exhaling, lift and hold. Inhaling down, switch. Exhaling, lift and hold. Inhaling down, switch. Exhaling, lift. One more time. Inhaling down, switch. Exhaling, lift and hold. And last side, inhaling, switch, exhaling, lift and hold. Nice. And we're going to do one more classic leg lift. So these 3 core exercises together, you're really hitting all aspects of the core. You've got your upper abs, and then you've got your deep transverse abdominals, and we're getting into the low belly here. So just slide your shoulders away from your ears and flex your feet. And on an inhale, lower the legs down, point the toes, scoop the navel. Exhaling, lift the legs up, flex your feet. Inhaling down, exhaling up. If you feel like you don't need the arms, you can cactus them. Exhaling, 3. Inhaling, 4. Inhaling, 5. Inhaling, 6. Inhaling, 7. Inhaling, 8. Inhaling, 9. And inhaling, 10. And come into happy baby. And so lengthen your tailbone toward the floor. Lengthen the back of your neck. See if you can release your shoulders. Deep breathing. And you can go from here into a wide straddle. So if the hamstrings are on the tighter side, bring the arms underneath you, right? And you can keep your knees bent any amount you need to. If you feel comfortable, you can hook the big toes and extend the legs. If you feel really comfortable, you can grab the inner arches of your feet. Or if you feel like, in order to really get in there with my hamstrings, I've got to sit up. Absolutely sit up. You can bring the hands behind you and press yourself to the front of your sit bones. You're welcome to be on a block if you need that, but if you do, you probably want to put a little bend in the knees. You can walk the arms forward. So lots of options here. Definitely check in with your breath. This nice, deep, easy breathing. Just a longer hold and a forward fold, really getting into your hamstrings and your breath, or you're on your back. And I just want you to get a sense of your energy level if you can, because you can stay here in the wide straddle, absolutely. You're also welcome to come on up. I want to give you an opportunity to get upside down if you want it, and you can incorporate the wide straddle by running your legs up the wall. So you bring your hips over to the wall, and then take the legs up. Ooh, the floor's cold. And so you can stay there, and it's nice to actually stay there for a moment. Anyway, if you're going to stay at the wall and do this, just give gravity a minute to legs up the wall. Viparita Karani is really restorative, healing, great pose to do if you are dealing with insomnia. It just kind of like quiets the mind. I think it's just like all that energy going the opposite way. It's usually headed just, it's good stuff. So you can stay there. And then after a few minutes, you can come into the wide straddle at the wall, and that might feel really, really nice. All right. So there's an option for you. For those of you who are feeling peppy and you have a handstand practice, you're waiting to, or you're playing rather with like the wide straddle, you can take a couch pillow. It's a really good way to get comfortable with the handstands, is to just have that support behind you. A lot of the time what's stopping people isn't strength, it's fear of like throwing their hips into space, And so as long as you keep your arms straight, you're going to be fine. Please make sure you keep your arms straight. Bring your hands down, shoulders distance apart, and I'm dropping my head, and I'm going to lean the back of my head and my upper back into the bolster so I can feel that it's there. Straight arms. You can separate your feet, bend your knees, and pop your hips up. And you could, you can start with your knees together. You could take your legs straight up. You could go into the straddle once you're there. If lotus pose is part of your practice, you can have all kinds of fun once you're comfortable, but getting comfortable is the first part. Also, obviously I'm breathing. So a lot of the time what happens for people is they go upside down and they hold their breath because they're just like, upside down. Breathe. Because sometimes what's making a person come out of an inversion is not that they ran out of strength, it's that they ran out of oxygen, right? You need the oxygen. So make sure you're breathing. There's that. And then I'm going to pull my mat over this way. And one last option I wanted to give you, somebody asked me about the tripod headstand. So definitely not something to play with if you have any neck stuff going on. It's not the day for any kind of headstand. As long as your neck feels good, definitely want to do it at the wall. If it's like your first time, have the wall behind you. I'm just doing it here so you can see. And so you're going to take the heel of your palm to the space between your eyebrows and extend your middle finger. And that's the crown of your head. And that's the part of the head that we want on the mat. So it's not here, right? It's here. And then you're going to bring the hands down. The hands are shoulders distance apart. And you're bringing the crown of your head down. And it's chaturanga arms. I hope you can see that that's what's about to happen. And you're going to tuck the toes and lift the knees up. Now, if you're new, I want you to take one knee to one tricep and one knee to the other. And you're in a head balance. If you feel really comfortable and you're at the wall, you can bend the knees, or you can take the legs straight up, or you can play with lotus pose upside down. So, all things are possible once you're comfortable and you have the foundation. You don't want to be doing anything fancy with the legs till you feel super solid in the headstand, right? Makes sense. Okay, it is Shavasana time, everyone. So when you're ready, and by the way, I have barrettes on the top of my head, so just want to let you know I just suffered immensely for you because those barrettes dug right into the crown of my head. I don't know why I did that, but that's what happened. Okay, so you can move your blocks over. You can take Shavasana without any props at all, but if you have anything going on in your low back, I just want to show you, you can put the bolster underneath your knees. You do want your heels to touch the mat and come onto your back. And that can be just a nice little support if you have any low back tenderness. I don't, so I'm going to move it over. And just make yourself comfortable. It's a nice thing about practicing at home is hopefully you've got all of your things. So if you have an eye pillow or socks or a blanket, anything you need. And then once you're in Shavasana, just to really try to let go of the breath. Let your body totally rest. Allow your next breath to be a little bit deeper. And gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. On an inhale, you can reach your right arm or both arms up over your head. And when you exhale, hug the knees way up into your chest and roll onto your right side. And then press into your arms and come on up to sitting. Just like we started, same, right? Full circle. But I'm really hopeful that you're feeling a lot different. Same pose, whole different set of feelings in your body. And at least some of them, just that open feeling of like the hips and the shoulders and the hamstrings being released and a nice long, supple spine and free flow of breath and energy and a lot more tuned in to sensation and kind of dropped out of the busy mind. So I hope at least some of those things are true. And thank you so much for joining me. Bring the hands to prayer at your forehead for clarity of thought, to your mouth for clarity of speech, and to your heart for clarity of action. Letting all of this beautiful energy shine through the things that you are thinking, saying, and doing. And same for me, right? It's the whole point of practice. I am wishing you all the love. Namaste.